Hello and welcome viewers. You're watching the brand new show of Sunset TV on constitutional and statutory bodies. Each episode will spotlight a specific constitutional or statutory body in India, exploring its origin, structure, functions and significance in strengthening the country's democratic framework. Constitutional and statutory bodies are important in India because they ensure democratic functioning, uphold the rule of law and maintain checks and balances in governance. The Constitution of India provides for various constitutional bodies that play a pivotal role in the administration and ensure the smooth functioning of democracy. Integral to the functioning of democratic polity and governance in India, these bodies have a significant role in ensuring that the constitutional mandate is upheld and the country operates within the constitutional framework. In context of India, a constitutional body refers to an institution or authority that derives its powers and responsibilities directly from the Constitution of India. The Constitution either directly establishes these entities or mandates their creation, outlining their composition, powers, functions, and duties. These bodies are explicitly mentioned in the Constitution, making them a fundamental part of the country's governance and administrative structure. A constitutional body of India is also entrusted with performing specific functions to uphold democratic governance and ensure the effective implementation of constitutional mandates. They play a very important role in upholding the principles enshrined in the Constitution. From overseeing elections to promoting transparency and accountability, these bodies are entrusted with significant responsibilities that contribute to the governance and welfare of the nation. As guardians of democracy, the constitutional bodies continue to strive towards the ideals of justice, equality, and integrity, thereby strengthening the foundation of India's democratic framework. Today we'll focus on the National Commission for Scheduled Castes. It is a constitutional body established under Article 338 of the Constitution of India with the objective of safeguarding the rights and interests of the scheduled castes. Its creation reflects the commitment of the framers of the Constitution to ensure social justice, equality and protection against any form of exploitation or discrimination faced by these historically marginalized communities. India is a country that believes in equality, justice and dignity for all its citizens. However, due to centuries of social discrimination, certain sections of society, especially the scheduled castes, have faced severe inequalities and exploitation. To protect their rights and ensure their welfare, the Constitution has established the National Commission for Scheduled Castes under Article 338. The Commission plays a pivotal role in promoting social justice and equality for these historically disadvantaged communities. The National Commission for Scheduled Castes is important because it is a constitutional body that safeguards the rights of scheduled castes by monitoring and enforcing constitutional safeguards, investigating grievances and advising the government on socio-economic development policies. Its key functions include protecting SCs from exploitation and discrimination, ensuring the effective implementation of welfare programs, and submitting annual reports to the President on the status of SCs' rights and development. The constitutional provisions are aimed at ensuring adequate representation, protection from social injustice and equal opportunities for scheduled castes in matters related to education, employment, economic advancement and participation in governance. The National Commission for Scheduled Castes is composed of a chairperson, a vice chairperson and 3 additional members. These individuals are appointed by the President of India through a warrant bearing his or her signature and seal. The President also determines their conditions of service and the tenure of their office. The National Commission for Scheduled Castes is endowed with significant powers to regulate its procedures and effectively carry out investigations and inquiries. While examining complaints or investigating matters related to the rights and safeguards of scheduled castes, the Commission operates with the authority of a civil court. This grants it wide-ranging judicial powers to ensure proper enforcement of SC rights and safeguards. Let's take a look at the mission of the Commission: monitoring and evaluation. Evaluate planning, execution and outcomes of developmental schemes for scheduled castes. Ensure effective delivery of benefits to the intended beneficiaries. Enforcement of safeguards. Oversee implementation of constitutional and legal safeguards for scheduled castes. Ensure compliance by central and state governments and public sector undertakings. Complaint redressal. Examine and investigate complaints regarding violations, deprivation of rights or discrimination. Take appropriate action for timely redressal. Policy recommendations. Provide informed recommendations to central and the state governments. Strengthen policies and schemes for socio-economic development and welfare. Proactive empowerment. Identify gaps in existing frameworks and suggest measures for further empowerment. Promote education, employment, and social upliftment initiatives. Guardianship of justice and rights. Serve as a vigilant guardian of justice and rights without fear or favor. Ensure interventions are aligned with constitutional provisions and the best interests of scheduled castes. Awareness and outreach. Promote awareness among scheduled castes about their rights and available schemes. Encourage active participation in governance and social development initiatives. Let's also take a look at the constitutional provisions of the National Commission for Scheduled Castes. The functions and duties and power of the Commission have been laid down in clauses 4, 5, 8, 9 and 10 of Article 338 of the Constitution. Clause 4 empowers the Commission to regulate its own procedure for meaningful performance. Clause 5 states that it shall be the duty of the Commission to investigate and monitor all matters relating to the safeguards provided for scheduled castes under this Constitution or under any other law for the time being in force or under any order of the government and to evaluate the working of such safeguards. To inquire into specific complaints with respect to deprivation of rights and safeguards of the scheduled castes. To participate and advise on the planning process of socio-economic development of scheduled castes and to evaluate the progress of their development under the Union and any state. To present to the President annually and at other such times, as the Commission may deem fit, reports upon the working of those safeguards. To make in such reports recommendations as to the measures that should be taken by the Union or any other state for the effective implementation of those safeguards and other measures for the protection, welfare, and socio-economic development of scheduled castes, and to discharge such other functions in relation to their protection, welfare, and development and advancement of scheduled castes as the President may, subject to the provisions of any law made by Parliament by rule specified. Clause 8 states that the Commission shall, while investigating any matter, refer to in subclause A or inquiring into any complaint, refer to subclause B of clause 5, have all powers of a civil court trying a suit and in particular in respect of following matters, namely, summoning and enforcing the attendance of any person from any part of India and examining him on oath, requiring the discovery and production of any documents, receiving evidence on affidavits, requisitioning any public record or copy thereof from any court or office, issuing commissions for the examination of witnesses and documents, or any other matter which the President may by rule determine. Clause 9 states that the Union and every state government shall consult the Commission on all major policy matters affecting scheduled castes. Clause 10 states that in this article references to the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes shall be construed as including references to such other backward classes as the President may, on receipt of the report of a commission appointed under Clause 1 of Article 340, by order specify, and also to the Anglo-Indian community. Let's also take a look at the nature of complaints entertained by the Commission. Heinous crimes, rape, gang rape, murder, kidnapping, or any other aggravated offences under the SC or ST Act, non-registration or delay in FIR, failure of police authorities to register FIRs in atrocity cases, caste-based abuse and humiliation, use of caste slurs, social boycott or public insult, physical assault and violence, beating, grievous hurt or attempt to murder, threats and intimidation, including threats to life or property, arson and destruction of property, targeted burning or damage to property belonging to SC persons, bonded labour and forced labour, complaints under the Bonded Labour System or Abolition Act, non-payment of wages, violation of minimum wage provisions or denial of wages to SC workers, fraud and cheating, exploitation or deceit targeting SC individuals or communities, crimes against children, offences under the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences or POCSO Act. The first commission under the Constitution 65th Amendment Act was constituted in 1992, replacing the Commissioner for Scheduled Castes and Scheduled Tribes, and the commission was set up under the Ministry of Welfare's resolution of 1987. The evolution of the National Commission for Scheduled Castes reflects the changing approaches to protecting the rights of scheduled castes in India. Originally, Article 338 of the Constitution established the appointment of a special officer for scheduled castes. and scheduled tribes to investigate matters related to their constitutional safeguards and report to President on their implementation. In 1978, the government created a non-statutory commission for SCs and STs. In 1987, it was renamed the National Commission for SCs and STs. The 65th Constitutional Act in 1990 established a high-level national commission, replacing the previous structure. In 2003, the 89th Constitutional Amendment Act split this commission into two separate bodies, the National Commission for Scheduled Castes and National Commission for Scheduled Tribes. The National Commission for Scheduled Castes was formally established in 2004 to better address the needs of SC communities in India. The National Commission for Scheduled Castes submits an annual report to the President of India detailing its findings and recommendations. In addition to the annual report, the Commission can submit reports whenever it deems necessary to highlight critical issues or developments. The President places these reports before Parliament, accompanied by a memorandum that explains the action taken on the Commission's recommendations. If recommendations are not accepted, the memorandum must provide reasons for the non-acceptance. For reports concerning state governments, the President forwards them to the respective state governor. The governor then places the report before the state legislature, along with a similar memorandum explaining the actions taken and justifications for not accepting any of the recommendations. Here, the National Commission for Scheduled Castes stands as a guardian of justice for one of the most vulnerable sections of Indian society. It works tirelessly to ensure that the principles of equality and dignity enshrined in the Constitution are realized in practice. The Commission not only protects the rights of scheduled castes but also contributes significantly to building a more inclusive and fair India where every citizen can live with respect and pride.
इस देश का इतना बड़ा वर्ग और ये कसौटियों से निखरा हुआ वर्ग है। समाज का एक वर्ग है जिसे ठंडी क्या होती है, गर्मी क्या होती है, खुले पैर चलने से कंकर क्या से दबता है, इसका पता तक नहीं है। वो तो बनी बनाई अवस्था में चल पड़ा है। लेकिन ये वो लोग हैं जिसने जिंदगी के हर कष्ट झेले हैं, हर अपमान झेले हैं, मुसीबतों का सामना किया है और एक प्रकार से कसौटी से कसता 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 अपनी जिंदगी को बनाता बनाता उभर करके आया है। उसकी ताकत कितनी होगी उसका अंदाज मुझे भली भांति है। लोहे का मूल्य होता है लेकिन स्टील का ज्यादा होता है, क्योंकि वो प्रक्रिया से निकला हुआ है। आप लोग आत्मनिर्भर हैं और आत्माभिमानी भी है।
Well, viewers, that's all we had for you in this edition. In the next episode, we'll talk about a new constitutional or statutory body and explore its role, powers and contribution to India's governance framework. Thanks for watching and stay tuned to Sunset TV. Goodbye for now from my side.
To watch more programs of Sunset TV, subscribe to our YouTube channel and don't forget to like and share them.